All right. Well, I'm excited to be here right now. It is the return of what I call what did I used to call it Idol Mouth, just because it's a combination of American Idol and my website Multimedia Mouth, and it's the first time back in 2 years, and I'm excited to have the front runner of American Idol, if I do say so myself, uh, Miss Huntergirl. Welcome.
Hey, how are you? I'm so excited to be here. I've never done anything like this before.
Well, then I am happy to be one of the first, and first of many. I'm assuming, because I'm going to be straight up honest here. My friend and I, we debate American Idol contestants like crazy. And she's not a country music fan by any
Yeah.
stretch of the imagination, and she likes you. And I'm like,
Oh, awesome.
so I think that you have a huge potential. Let me start out by just straight up asking, what it felt like to go through the process of auditioning for American Idol, getting in front of, country music, one of country music's biggest stars, pop music's biggest stars, and one of the greatest to ever do it in Lionel Richie. Tell me, what was that process like for you?
It was crazy. It was so cool. I'll kind of start from the beginning,
Please.
I guess. So at the beginning, we had like the Zoom auditions before, we got to be in the room with the judges. So I went through all of those, and I was like, oh my gosh, I keep getting through. And I was so excited when I finally got to go in the room with the judges. And I was nervous. I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to see them in person. And so I walk into the room and I look at all three of them like, oh my gosh, they look exactly like they do on TV. And I was like, you guys are all beautiful inside my head, of course. And, and I was nervous starting off and everything. And then I kind of got settled. Um, and it was just so crazy. And watching Luke run around the room and all them stand up and all the kind words they sent my way, I was just like starstruck. It was the encouragement, I really needed. And it just felt like a full circle moment, and like I was getting really close to my dream. And hearing it from people like that, I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe I can do this. And so that was it was probably the coolest day of my life, getting to be in that room. And then the journey that's been since then has just been crazy and awesome. And I can't believe that I'm here. I'm so excited and blessed that I am. But it's a crazy season, so many talented people, and I'm just happy to be in the group with them.
Yeah, I feel like this particular season, all these reality shows, they have really good seasons with great contestants, and then they have seasons where the contestants aren't as good as previous, and then every now and then you have the one where there's the one front runner. And while I do think that you're currently a front runner, obviously once you get through, top 24 and live rounds and all that stuff, it could potentially change. But this season, man, there's a lot of really good talent. And I'm sitting here at home and I'm debating with my friend. I'm like, man, I would have let that one person go through. And, like, why didn't they let so-and-so go through? And then I realized, well, it's a reality TV show. They have to cut some people eventually.
No, no, but I definitely felt the same way. Just watching it, and it's so weird watching it on TV too. Just like it's like being there and then watching on TV is a completely different thing. But it's been a crazy process. I never thought that I would be on TV. So it's been
How did that feel? How did that feel to because I've seen myself on TV a couple times and I'm just like, oh my gosh, why didn't I comb my hair differently or whatever? What was that like for you? Because you looked, you walked in the room looking like a star to begin with. So I'm sure, but
I love you.
I'm gonna remember that when you start touring around town. I'm gonna send you a DM, and be like, remember, you said you loved me, so But what was it like watching yourself on television that first time?
Oh, it was terrifying. I think just like the preparation for it, because like it's gonna happen. And it was the night that my audition was gonna air, and I was driving back home to my family because we were having like a watch party thing. And I was driving down my road, and I was scared to death. I'd never done anything like this, and you always have those thoughts: are people gonna like me? Is this bad? Did I sing the right notes? Like, I didn't see the episode. I just lived it before it went on TV, and so you kind of get in your head a little bit. And I remember praying, going down the road, and I was just like, please let this go well. And it, whenever I was watching it, it would just like a feeling came over me. I was crying with my family, and it was just the coolest experience. It's because I started playing music when I was 14. I'm 23 now, about to be 24 at the end of May, and it was just crazy, like how long that I've been doing this and putting the work in, and it just kind of hit me all at once that night when I was watching it. It was like, oh my gosh, like all the work paid off, getting to be there and getting to be ready for that opportunity. Because I don't think I could have done this 5 years ago, and it felt like the perfect timing, and I was just overwhelmed, feeling like little Hunter would lose her mind getting to think about what I was doing right now.
Well, I want to take you back to that moment once you finished singing and the judges all had nothing but great things to say to you. And then it seemed like almost instantly Luke and Lionel got on the same page and like, actually, this song might sound a little bit better if you're a half step up, and them kind of going through that moment of, like a vocal coaching type situation when I'm sitting there, I'm like, they're not going to do this to somebody who they don't really have confidence in. What was that moment like? Because I feel like, the average Joes like myself who don't really know much about how music is done and conducted, to have that type of feedback and that type of mentorship off the bat must have been game changer for you. Tell me about that moment in particular, because I just loved it overall.
Yeah, that moment was crazy. I remember sitting there, and they were like talking to me, and they were like, "Okay, what about a half step up?" And I was like, "Okay." And it's kind of like my brain shut off, and all those times playing shows and everything kind of kicked in to know what they were talking about, and I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna go for it." And it was also really special getting to have that mentorship right when I met them, and them helped me to be better. And the song sounded way better a half step up, and I'm never going to sing that song a different way ever again. It was just a really special moment for me, and it made me feel like they really cared about me and my journey on Idol.
Yeah, I really felt like they went an extra step to, win, lose, or, well, there's really no winner, there's no draw there, but win, lose, or draw. Like, I feel like they wanted to make sure that you had a little extra, not advantage, but I guess a little bit of extra rub, a little superstar rub off of Luke Bryan and Lionel Richie, because again, this show is so, unpredictable that, I mean, we saw Chris Daughtry get kicked off in the final like 4 or 5 weeks of the show. So anything could happen once the live shows happen. So I really enjoyed watching that. And of course, later on that same episode, we saw you perform at Luke Bryan's bar and grill, whatever it's called. That must have been surreal. Let's talk about that a little bit. What was that opportunity to do a little bit more than just a song in front of the judges and in front of, a packed house, it looked like?
Yeah, that was insane. I remember leaving the judging room, and so I got a FaceTime call the next day, and all of a sudden I didn't know what was going on, because you just never know what's going to happen or anything. And they FaceTime me, and they were like, "Hey, come down and play at the bar like you guys saw on TV." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be awesome." And, they said that they wouldn't be there because of auditions and everything. And I was like, I'm just excited to play. And so got down there, and I didn't even know I was playing with a band. And I showed up, and I had a couple songs ready. I had Bluebird by Miranda Lambert and My Church by Maren Morris in my head. And so I got on stage, and I was nervous, with all the cameras and everything there, and I thought we were, just filming for a different part of the episode or something. And whenever they walked in, because I heard the audience start screaming, and I was like, okay, I was like, yay! I was like, what's going on? And, I didn't know what to do. I was like, yeah, woo, have a good time. And so I'm crazy, and I look through the door, and that's when they walked in, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So that was a genuine reaction, because I really actually didn't have any idea of what was going on. And it was so cool. That was one of the coolest nights of my life. Just the crowd going crazy and them being there, and it was such a special moment for me. And I, like, whenever they brought the guitar case out after I got done singing, and opened it up, and the platinum ticket was there, I just broke down. It was it was just special. Every time I talk about it, I get back into that headspace of just feeling really grateful and really thankful, and it just felt like they really believed in me, and that just meant the world to me going forward in the competition, and yeah, that was crazy.
I really enjoyed what they did with those platinum tickets, and I really enjoyed what they did with you in particular, because I felt like it was so uh, such a different thing than they've done in the past. I know, The Voice did something similar to that. Like, they would send Carson Daly out, and they would be doing something in a bar or whatever. But this was cool. This was really cool, and I really enjoyed it. And then obviously you had the opportunity to rest up a little bit. I'm sure there wasn't much rest once Hollywood Week started. But tell me about your experience with Hollywood Week. Both songs that you performed, I thought you did an incredible job with. I thought the Fleetwood Mac song, I've only heard it done better once, and that was the original, But I will say I thought you sang perfectly on there. Tell me about your Hollywood Week experience. I'm really curious. And how did you like being in Hollywood Week, or in Hollywood, I should say?
Yeah, that was my first time in California, so that was so cool. Never been in LA before. Whenever somebody says LA, like, I think Lower Alabama, and so whenever I was actually in Hollywood, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm here. And getting to see like the Hollywood sign, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, this is real. And it was super intimidating during Hollywood Week. I've watched the show since I was a little girl, and I've seen the footage, and I'm like, oh, here we go. But it was really, really special. Just all the people that you meet too. I met so many good friends while I was there, and it was really cool that we were just surrounded by people all in music. I've never had that. I grew up in a small town. There are a few people that played music, but not too many. And it was like I got dropped into a place where, it was like a lot of people were like me, and it was really special getting to find people that were wanting the same dream that I did. It was really scary. Just the energy in the air, the no sleep. I didn't eat very much. I think, one of the videos, I know it didn't make it on TV. I was sitting there and I was like, I've had 2 granola bars today.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was just so nervous. But the duet, it was really cool getting to be with Cole. He was such a good guy and such a good friend, and we really came together on that song and tried to do our best with it. It was daunting because they had just got done with the first round, and then we immediately had to go pick a duet song. And so we were just going through the little list thing, and we both were like, okay, we could do that song. We practiced it, and then we all went to bed that night. Some people went to bed at like 5 a.m., and then we had to be up, a couple hours later. And it was just insane, the energy in the air. But everybody was super nice throughout the process. And then it's hard to like go through that, like talk about it in like little spurts, because how much happened. But the part that I was really excited to be in was the showstopper round, doing the Girl Going Nowhere by Ashley McBryde. That was a song that meant a lot to me. The first time I heard her sing that song on the radio, I broke down crying. It just felt like that was my story. And I know it's the story of so many other girls just wanting to not be a girl going nowhere. We want to go somewhere. And I really look up to Ashley McBryde. So I was really excited to get to sing her song during that part.
Yeah, let's talk about you as a musician, because I feel like the one kind of it's not really a flaw, but the one thing that I think is missing from American Idol is really getting to know the musicians a little bit better. It's so much about getting the contestants in and out and the judging and all that stuff. So you mentioned that you've been singing for forever now. Tell me a little bit about what it's what got you into music, and maybe a couple of the artists that you listen to and you're just like, man, I hope I can write as good as these people and release music that is inspirational. I know you mentioned Maren Morris and Miranda Lambert earlier. So I'm just curious, who's your inspiration and what kind of got you into wanting to do music as a profession?
Yeah. I started singing when I was about 3 years old, just around the house and everything, and grew up in church. My grandfather's a preacher. And so I sang in church. I started writing songs when I was about 9. They probably weren't very good, but I wrote them. It's probably like, I don't want to go to school today, Mom. But started playing guitar when I was 14, and that's when I started playing shows around my small town, and then traveling around. And my mom and dad would take me to places when I didn't have my license and watch me through the window and wave at me. I'm like, hey guys. They've been super supportive of my journey, and I couldn't ask for anything more. I grew up listening to Dolly Parton. She's somebody I really look up to as a artist, a songwriter especially. But most of all, she's a really good person, and I know that I wanted to be that kind of person whenever I grew up. And so I definitely listened to a lot of Dolly Parton. I love her songwriting is just incredible, and it's the way that she connects with people.
Mm-hmm.
It's relatable, and it's talking about things that some people won't talk about. I really look up to. Yeah, go ahead. Did you ask a question?
No, you're good.
Oh, I'm good. Okay. Sorry. Whenever the screen switches over and it's just me, I'm like, I'm looking at my face.
It's the star of the show.
Oh yes, here we go. Oh gosh. I love Reba. I looked up to her when I was little. My mama and we would watch her show. Whenever it comes on, it's like, I'm a survivor. I'd come running into the living room, like, let's go, ready to watch Reba. I loved her music when I was little. Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings. Grew up on that. And then whenever I started writing songs and coming to Nashville, that was incredible. Just getting to write songs with other people. I was writing songs by myself, which I love to do that now too. But getting to write with other people was so special, just because you have so many different personalities and different takes on lyrics. And so songwriting's been a big part of my journey as an artist and a person, just because it feels like I can get all the stuff out of my head, and maybe it could help somebody else. I think that's the whole point of music, is saying something that maybe somebody else could relate to get out of a bad situation.
Yeah, well, you also, correct me if I'm wrong, did some music therapy stuff prior to American Idol?
Yeah, I write with veterans, and basically what I do is I sit down with a veteran, and they tell me about their stories, about things that they went through during war, and they can choose whatever it's about and talk about whatever they want to talk about, and I turn it into a song within a few hours.
Wow.
And they're a part of the process. It's really, really special, because sometimes they'll come in and they'll be closed off, not really wanting to talk, and then they'll slowly just start talking. And I think it's honestly easier to talk to a stranger a lot of the time about some things that are really personal to you. And so I'm the helpful stranger that puts it into a song for them, and they get to have that for the rest of their life. And also they get to come to meetings with all the other veterans too, which is like a family. I think a lot of times when a veteran comes back home, they're trying to get readjusted, and sometimes they don't feel like they have a place back home anymore. Just from my experience with them, and it's really special that they can talk to other veterans about things that they went through and be like, oh yeah, I went through that, or hey, this happened to me, or hey, I was there. It gives them a place they can go to. And one of my favorite parts about writing the song is getting to play it they get to play it for their families. And sometimes, a lot of the time, like, they haven't talked about some of the stuff that they went through, and their family finally gets to hear that. And so just watching somebody come in and leave a different person is a really special thing. I have a big military background in my family. My great grandfather, my grandfather, 6 of my great uncles, and so I have a big appreciation for them. And they served our country, and we wouldn't be here getting to do what we love if it hadn't been for their sacrifice. And so I want to give back any way that I can for them, and I'm just happy to be a part of their song.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't even know that was a thing that people could do, and I really, I'm a big military supporter as well, and I love knowing that there's people out there doing that. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love to be a part of it. I work with Freedom Sings USA. That's where I work for. And so if there's any veterans watching or any military families, reach out, and I'd love to write a song with you.
We'll put some links in the description of this, and if anyone who knows somebody who's a vet who's struggling, reach out, because I'm sure it'll be a big help. Now I want to transition here. I'm gonna get serious here for a second.
Lord.
We're gonna go like this. This makes it feel a little bit more serious. It's a speed round.
My face is like even closer.
What happened?
I said, hello, viewers.
Right. So this is a little speed round just to hopefully get to know you a little bit more. If you don't have an answer, make one up, make it funny, whatever, have fun with it. This isn't serious. I just like, because it feels game showy when you do this side by side like this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do it.
All right. So, currently right now, what is the one song that's top of mind that you're listening to help you kind of get through the day?
Coat of Many Colors, Dolly Parton. Favorite song of all time. Love that song.
That's a great song. If you could have one meal for the rest of your life that you would never get tired of, what would it be?
Buffalo Wild Wings hot wings.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'm judging a little bit.
Judging. You're just like, a little bit.
There's a couple other there's some mom and pop shops around. I live in Southern California, so I know some really good wing spots. I'll send you some in your DMs.
Any hot wing.
Okay.
I'm good. Right. I'm good with it.
All right. Would you rather spend an hour hanging out with Ryan Seacrest or an hour hanging out with Ryan Reynolds? It's the battle of the Ryans.
Ryan Seacrest.
I have a feeling that's just because you're on American Idol.
I'm not saying I plead the Fifth Amendment right now. I don't know where my hand is in this shot.
What's one thing that you have to bring with you to a writing session?
Open mind, for sure. I think it's having an idea of what you kind of want to say and being open to what other people have to say too.
Okay, cool. Is there something that you do before going out on stage that's like a ritual, maybe a prayer, take a shot of something? What do you do?
I'll do a prayer. I'll call my mom if she's not with me, and we'll always get on the phone and she'll say a prayer for me right before I go on stage. I've done it every round that we've been in here, and I always call my mom.
That's awesome. All right. I had one more and I totally forgot it. So
you're like, here we go. Actually, we're moving the screen closer.
Right. I wish I could. I'd be like right here, like right in your eyes.
Oh my gosh. Hello.
All right. If you were able to sing any song, that, there was no limits, no copyright issues with American Idol. They came to you and said you can sing any song you want on the show. What song would that be?
That's hard. Oh, I would love to do one of my songs on the show. That would be incredible. Getting to do one of mine, that would be so cool. Just getting to hear my song with a band, for the first time. That'd be really neat.
That'd be awesome. I can't wait. Honestly, I cannot wait to see what this American Idol journey brings for you. Again, American Idol on ABC's Sunday nights. Huntergirl, thank you so much. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Oh, hello. You guys can find me at Huntergirl Music. My name's Hunter. I'm a girl. I play music.
So real quick, I'm curious though. Yeah. I know we're tight on time here, but why are you going by Huntergirl as opposed to just Hunter? Is it just a marketing thing that hopefully helps you stand out more? What's the story behind that? Because I know there's a story.
There's a story for sure. Okay, so my last name is Walkanowski. Yes, 11 letters. Oh yeah. And so nobody could pronounce that when I was younger. They still can't pronounce it now. And so back whenever I was in elementary school, I was the only girl named Hunter, in my whole town. And so the lady at the front office would be like, Hunter girl, come to the office. And then my grandpa would call me Hunter girl. And so it just kind of stuck. And that's what I started going by whenever I was like, what should be my artist name? And I was like, Hunter girl, we're good. And because Walkanowski's a lot.
I'm gonna try saying your name real quick, your last name real quick, because I'm probably gonna butcher. I'm terrible at like even basic names. So Walkanowski.
Yeah, you did good. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Huntergirl, thank you so much. Everyone go vote for her on American Idol. Sundays on ABC. It's in America's hands now, as Luke Bryan said.
Yep.
Do you have any last thing that you want to tell the viewing audience here?
I do want to say thank you guys so much for all the love and all the messages, everything y'all sent my way. Thank you guys for believing in me. I really appreciate y'all, and I wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you guys for all the love. I love you guys. See you on TV soon.
See you soon.